Welcome to the Burnham Brothers podcast. This is episode number 3, and myself, Luke, Cooper, and Bodie, who is my youngest son, Cooper's younger brother, who's actually doing homeschooling at the moment, so he can't be involved in this one. Today, our guest is ridiculous, to be honest. To be a bit of a fanboy is an understatement for myself. Lucas is my Jiu Jitsu idol. Pretty much my whole game is based off Lucas. There's no other way to put it. 6-time world champion. I could go through his record forever, but I think everyone knows it speaks for itself. So, Lucas Lepri, welcome to our podcast.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity to be here with you. And, I hope everybody that listens enjoy it.
No, thank you. Like I was saying, before we get into the questions, you've been my idol since I started Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm a member of your online schooling as well. I love the way you just approach Jiu-Jitsu. I love the style, all that sort of stuff. So I don't mean to be a fanboy moment, but it's a big deal for me. So thanks for coming on our podcast. I really appreciate it.
Of course, guys. Thank you very much. I'm very glad to hear that you guys enjoy my style, my class online. That means a lot.
Yeah, it's good.
Not only Dad, probably most of my dad's students as a gym, probably they all have the same style as you though, because he teaches all your stuff from the online.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool, guys. I hope one day I can go and visit you guys in Australia as well. I supposed to be in Australia in July, but and then all these things happen, then I have to push forward, but probably next year I'm gonna be there and see if I can visit you guys.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you'll definitely have a place at our gym for a seminar. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I think the last time you came, I inquired about it, but we were only a reasonably new club, and it was just with the amount of members we had, it was too much.
Yeah.
So we just thought, next time I'm definitely going to have it happen. So,
all right, that's going to be good too.
Cool. So, how is it with this current situation with COVID-19, the coronavirus? How's it affected yourself? I gather you've been in lockdown like we are. We've been closed for just over 2 months now. Our gym. What's it like for you? How's that affected you guys?
Yeah, we're still close. A little bit over. Actually, we 2 months already. So We're just waiting and see if we're gonna be able to open beginning of June. We don't know yet. We just wait for the government, for the state, say the day that we can open. But for sure, it's tough time to everyone. Not for the academies, for jiu-jitsu, but for a lot of business, it's pretty tough times. And but for sure, all what happened now is gonna teach us something, So that's that we have to learn something and be positive, because a lot of tough times that we have in life, so we can change for better, right?
Yeah.
So that's the way that I think, so talk about what I'm saying, talk about for everything in life in general, but talk about the business side. Of course, it's really tough, really tough time to close the academy. Of course, some students lost their jobs. They're not able to support the academy, but thanks God that we have a lot of students that they're able to continue pay their memberships and help to help the school. Plus the school here, my school, we have a lot of we have building something that we can for for the things happen now, we do have a saves, that we can continue, keep the doors open actually, So that's is I think that's really important, because a lot of times, if you don't manage your business well, so your business, can suffer more.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you know how to, manage your business and have some little saves, on the business, and and then you're going to be able to survive longer, right?
Yep.
So that's going to teach a lot of people how to manage that, because this tough time is going to teach a lot of people that if they didn't do this on the past, going to teach them to do this in the future.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's we've been lucky in that situation too with our members. Like the majority of our members have been able to stick by the club and help us get through, which is appreciated. Have you been doing online classes and things for your members, or not so much, just with your?
Yeah, so I gave them all the access, free access on my online training program.
Oh, nice.
Of course, some of them they already have it, but I'm just hoping for all my students in general, and then I'm doing some virtual class as well, once a day with everyone, like to catch up and do some, some techniques, some exercise, and keep them active,
Yeah.
break some sweat, and keep them also positive. I think it's important because they're, lockdown that put a lot of people a little bit anxious, and because uncertain, like a lot of people, have some doubts about the future, some, so that's going to help them, on certain ways that they can keep them, you know, uh, keep them positive. I think that's the most important thing, to try to help them somehow.
Yep.
I think we found the same. Like a lot of our members said, it's good. It gives them some consistency in life to still have online training and something to still show up to keep them positive and active, makes them feel better. So yeah, similar for us, I think.
Yes, because I think that's important, because of course, the virtual class, not everybody that like to go because they think that is not the same thing. But I have been working with my students the way that they can keep some positions very sharp, so have a good warm up as well, break some good sweat, keep them in very good shape, because it's not everyone as well have the discipline to work out by themselves. They need to somebody on the side pushing.
Yeah.
Some others is different. Some others, they already have the discipline and go and work out by themselves. But even though I think the interaction also is another thing that's important. You go and talk to them, and as I said, keep them think positive. And I think the interaction, a lot of we need that. We
Yep.
need that. We need to talk and listen to others. And I think that's why I think podcasts on these days is growing a lot as well, because people
Yeah.
have more time,
Yeah.
have more time to listen, to watch some podcast, or just listen, or I think is one thing that is good for everybody. Go and have more time now to go and watch and listen, know about others a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you see, like, after COVID-19, do you think Jiu Jitsu is going to be changed in the future because of it? Do you think things will go back to normal, or do you think Jiu Jitsu will be changed for the future with like social distancing and stuff? What are your
No,
thoughts?
man, I think it's gonna be the same. I think even better. I think that people's gonna really appreciate even more. So this is, social distance is teaching us a lot of things. But of course, the people like on the beginning, and it's gonna be a little more conscious about cleaning, about this and that. I think is changed for better. I think it's changed. Everything's changed for better. We're gonna go to the groceries, buy all the stuff that we put at home. We're gonna go and clean.
Yeah.
That maybe before we didn't have this how can I say, routine, right? So
Yeah.
now we're gonna go after we buy groceries. We're gonna go clean everything before we put in the refrigerator. So I think is gonna change for good,
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think training jiu-jitsu or other things, other sports, basketball, whatever, like all the group stay together. We're not change. I think as I was saying, I think the people is going to start appreciate more, you know,
Yes.
what they love to do. And, you know, they say, man, because now they say, man, I love to do jiu-jitsu. I love to do this and that, and I cannot do it. You know, I think the people's going to appreciate. Sometimes the guy didn't have the consistency at the academy, and they now they see themselves at home, see, I say, man, you know, like I miss training jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And then when he comes back, he's gonna, man, give even more value for that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I saw a lot of people saying like, because of COVID-19, they've realized that jiu-jitsu is the only exercise they actually like doing. So I think definitely a lot of
Yeah,
people will appreciate it.
exactly. Yeah, I believe so.
What was it like growing up in Brazil, and at what sort of age did you realize that jiu-jitsu could be your, like your life, your job? Yeah, what sort of age did you realize, well, hang on, I'm actually really good at this. I could make a living out of this.
Man, it's like, you know, Brazil, man, is awesome. You know, I love my country. Actually, like I have, you know, two countries now. I'm like citizen now here in America.
Yep.
You know, and so I started jiu-jitsu with 15 years old, and you know, like growing up, I didn't know that was just like everything in my life happened very natural.
Yep.
I started training, I started competing, I started, you know, of course, studying, and just start like, you know, enjoy the training, the journey that, you know, like prepare myself to compete. I love prepare myself to compete. I love competing, you know, it's on my blood. And I start doing that, you know, like training, compete, study, and then my first professor, let's say, look, we're gonna have a tournament next month, and okay, let's start, you know, training, prepare ourselves, and this, you know, I started doing that since I started jiu-jitsu, and as I said, the things started happening. So when I actually, like when I was brown belt, I almost stopped training jiu-jitsu because I was kind of like, I was just invest, and then I didn't get anything back.
Yep.
So it was pretty hard, you know, jiu-jitsu, make some money on that time. Now it's a little bit better, you know, even for the lower belts. But on back on the days, you know, like 2003, 4, you know, was pretty hard. And and then things start, you know, happen. And then when I got my black belt, and then I start competing some tournaments that give me some money. But on that time, I was at university. I was studying business.
Yep.
So I and you know, like I said, okay, I'm going to study. Of course, you know, when you study, other things start opening your vision for a lot of other things that you didn't see before.
Yep.
I think it's really important to go and study and see, even though that if you're not follow what you study, but just to open your mind, you know, for the world.
Yes.
I think is really, really important. So, and then I was studying C. I say, okay, so if jiu-jitsu, you know, if I like don't do jiu-jitsu for a living, I have the plan B, you know, so that's what, you know,
Yeah.
and then you know, so that was my mentality, and my mom as well. I say, look, man, I'm going to support whatever you want to do it, but please do not stop to study, you know, keep studying. So that's like what, like one thing that she asked me, you know, and then and she supported me at 100% my decisions in life, and of course guided me here and that, you know. But I was following my heart as well. You know, I was
Yep.
following my heart, and then I won the world championship for the first time when I was black belt 2007. I first year as a black belt, and I was just 22 years old, and then from there, Fabio Clemente in New York, he invited me to move to New York to start teaching there, and that's the time that I decided to leave Brazil and come to America.
Yep.
So yeah. So and then that actually is that time 2007 when I won the world championship, and then the things started happening. Then I did the super fight in Japan. Then I went to Europe to teach seminars, and then start putting me on the. I start like the people start know who I am, you know. So and then I start show my work to the world, and then that was the year that I decided to do jiu-jitsu full time, and yeah, so that's that's the story.
So does that mean you would consider that, because you've won 6 world championships, would you consider that to be your most special title you win, or is there another title that you would consider more special for yourself?
Man, so the first one always is special, you know, because you have to prove to yourself that you're capable to get on the highest level, you know. So and the other ones was really important as well. You know, there is like all the titles that I conquered was a different time of my life. You know, 2014 was the second one. You know, 7 years later, I won my second world title. That was really important because the 7 years I was like taking second, third, and always on the podium, but I wasn't winning gold again. So in 2014, I won, and then I said, okay, I was able to show and win again. You know, I was able to do that. And then in 2016, I won again, and then was another overcome. You know, I was like, I was very dismotivated to still competing. And then like maybe a month beforewards, I got my motivation back, and then I won again.
Wow.
In 2007, and then in 2017, I won again my fourth title. Like that year, I broke records on the lightweight division. You know, the other champions, they have 3 titles, and then I was the only one lightweight that got the fourth title. And then you know, and then every year saw something different. You know, 2018, I was like, my wife was pregnant, and I was focused on that, and I was also focused to break my own records, you know. So every year was something different. Then last year, 2019, I was visualizing myself on the part of my daughter that I was able to conquer, you know, like it was pretty awesome. So,
Yeah,
you
that
know,
would
like, yeah, so every year, like I was able, like I was focused also to break my own record as well, you know, become 6 times world champion on the lightweight division. That was like every year was something very special, and that motivate me, you know, like. So I think it's like, you know, it's really hard to pick just one,
yeah,
you know, like, but you know, for sure 2007 was the one that I think I can put one of the special ones.
yeah,
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
the 7 year gap, like between your first and second, was that a frustrating time, or was it just other things were happening as well, so it just nothing came together how you wanted it to?
Man, I was very frustrated, you know, because for example, 2008, I took, you know, second. 1 year after, I won, and the next year I took second, and then third, and then second again, and third, you know.
Yeah,
And then I was winning other tournaments. I was winning the Europeans, I was winning the Pan Ams, I was winning all other tournaments, but I when get the awards, I was putting too much pressure on myself that, you know, world championship is something that, man, is super hard.
yeah,
It's super, like, it's so high level, not just about the techniques, you know, physical condition as well, but mental. You know, like when you get the pyramid on the world championship, man, you have to be 100% ready, physically, mental. You know, you can see a lot of guys, they can do very well on the other tournaments, but get on the worlds, they go and lose.
yeah,
You know, it's because like it's a lot of pressure. You know, at least, you know, I was putting on myself a lot of pressure, and then I start to learn how to deal with that. You know, and because I was training the same way, I was preparing myself on the same way, you know. So, and then something on my mindset start changing. I was reading a book, and I was like, training my mindset as I was training my physical and my techniques, and then I start training my mental part, like my mindset, you know. So, and then everything start walking together, you know. So that was made a huge difference. Before I didn't believe much on that, you know. Before I start studying and put myself, I started like put myself together, like my mindset together with my technique and my preparation, like my physical training. I didn't believe much. And then when I start studying, reading more about it, you know, I watch a lot of speeches, and then I start to believe a little bit more, and then the results start coming. So, and then I say, man, that's really, really important. You know, that some athletes, they don't do it. Some athletes, some high athletes, they do it. And then my confidence start changing, you know, like everything start changing, you know. So I think that's why I have been invicto for the last 6 years at the World Championship.
Yep.
Yeah,
And that's a big deal, like the mental thing. I always say, like with Cooper actually competes a lot over in America. And he competed at Worlds and Pans and stuff like that. And he medaled right through his juvenile days at Worlds, and has medaled in adults as well. But he put so much pressure on himself going to Worlds and his training camp and everything. He's just, you see it in his face on comp day. He's that stressed. And I think the last Worlds, he actually lost to one of your guys in the rounds, Austin Arunde.
Austin from Texas.
Got refs. Yeah. Austin got the ref's decision, and I just see it in Cooper's face. He gets that frustrated and that uptight with himself. So you got to learn to deal with the mental stresses of it as well. Yeah. You need to go out there and sort of almost like he needs to learn how to enjoy it at the big comps.
Yeah, actually, like you have to see, because you know, like everybody's different, right? So some guys gonna be a little more relaxed, or some guys gonna be a little bit more like, you know, tense and have the adrenaline. But it's really good to have that adrenaline. It's really good. It's not good to be too relaxed, you know, at least in my opinion. I think you need that. You have to have that fear to lose.
Yep.
Because that fear to lose, you're gonna push you even further, you know.
Yeah, good point.
But it's really important how to control that since the beginning. Start controlling that, and you know. So I think, like as I was saying about like prepare your mindset as well to beg on the big station, you know, because the big stage is what's everything happen, you know, where everything's happened, you know, is on the big stage. So you have to know how to deal with pressure, right?
Yeah, I think that was definitely what I have to try and do, you know. Like in the past, I was more stressed before competition, and the nervous energy would control me, whereas now it's more about controlling the nervous energy myself. Like you can't always, like you can never get rid of it, but it's more like trying to channel it into making yourself a better competitor. And the fear pushes you. I agree.
Yeah.
What's it like for you now? You now have, like, you've got your wife, young daughter, the academy. I'd imagine, you know, when Corona's not around, life would be pretty hectic for yourself. Is competing still the number one thing that you want to do, or is it sort of, has that waned a little bit since the family and all that sort of stuff, or is it still number one on your list to be the best?
Man, it's like, you know, as I said, like I like to prepare myself to compete. I like to get, like, every year, like on January, I start doing my physical conditioning. I start like focus on the words, you know. I have been doing this since 2007, as I know, as a as a black belt. This is where like everything happened, you know, is a black belt.
Yep.
You know, until brown belt is one. I always say to my students, you know, until brown belt is one life. After you get your black belt, another life, you know,
Yep.
because everything started happening when you're a black belt. So I have been competing on the highest level for 12 years. You know, so you know, I won my first world title with 22 years old. I won my last one with 34 years old. You know,
Yep.
so I have been living very intensive. You know, the world championship. Like I have been training like every year, very intensive. And then I don't know if I'm gonna compete. I was thinking to compete this year. You know, I was training already. I was doing my physical training already. So and then get like beginning of April, and then is where I decided like 80 weeks before I start prepare myself every year in January. Start doing my physical conditioning, you know, everything, boom, boom, and then gets like end of March after Pan Am's, I start decide if I'm gonna compete the worlds or not, because where I start feeling like I start feeling myself, you know, ready to go or not, like kind of 8 weeks before.
Yep.
And then is where I start the camp. But of course, my preparation start before, start in January, but my camp start to wait, because like what I mean is like camp is like I want where I push a little bit more, but every day I'm already pushing, you know, but the camp, I always add some things, you
Yep.
know, because on my mind, I have to train more than everybody else.
Yeah.
And so that don't give me overtraining. That's why I put 8 weeks, you know.
Yep.
Uh, but and then this year I was thinking to compete, you know, and then happen all this crazy stuff that we're passing now. But and next year I don't know. I have to see and evaluate and see if I'm gonna be motivated, if I will be ready, you know. So and then I'm gonna decide just next year. But of course, the priorities start changing.
Yeah.
You know, it's not because I have the academy. I have the academy since 2014. You know, my own academy, but I teach jiu-jitsu full time since I was 19. Since I was brown belt.
Yep.
You know, is where my first teacher moved back to his hometown, and then I took over the academy and start to run, you know, the academy, the students. So it's not like, you know, teaching and training. I'm teaching, you know, full time for a long time.
Yep.
Having my academy since 2014. So it's about like do other things in life as well. You know, like the priorities now with my daughter for sure
Yep.
start changing. You know, so I wanna like, because I want to spend more time with her. I wanna like doing more things with her, and it's like it's something that, for example, last year I was able to divide this very well. You know, but it's hard. It's very hard. You know, it's really really hard
Yeah.
because and you know, because when you train for a world championship, like for example myself, I'm a target, right? Everybody wants to go to the world championship and beat me, so I have a big target on my back. That's just
Yeah.
one more pressure that I have on my shoulders. You know, is not easy, but I try to not think about that. You know, I training myself like I don't have any world title. You know, I forget my world titles, and then I train the same way that I was training when I was 22 years old. You know,
Yeah.
even though my body is not recovering the same way, you know,
Yes.
I believe, you know, I'm not taking any steroids. I'm like very like natural, you know.
Yep.
I drink just few supplements that help my recover, but even though it's like I believe the food, you know, makes different.
Yep.
And my strength condition coach also, he's like very against about like supplements, because he said, look, don't waste your money on this, man. But I believe that, you know, the, you know, glutamine, a few things that can some amino acids, like something that can help to recover.
Yeah.
But and my body starts feeling as well. I'm 35 years old now. I can, for example, I train on the same intensity that I used to train before, but get like on Wednesday or begin like Thursday morning, and my body's already break.
Yeah. Yeah.
My body, I feel super tired.
Yeah.
Looks like it's Friday already. On Wednesday now, it looks like it's Friday. So it's really tough. And then I was saying about the priorities start change as well. Because as I was explaining about the work champion, like how I train so much. I do my workout 3 times a week. I train jiu-jitsu 2 times a day. So I have the class to teach. So it's a lot of things that, I have to do, and to recover is really hard.
Yeah, for sure.
And, I have my association as well. And so it's a lot of things. I have my seminars. I travel every weekend, so there's a lot of things that are involved. And sometimes I'm not like, even though like I train as a full-time athlete, but I have other things going on, so of course we'll get to one point that I'm not recovering too fast that I used to.
Yeah.
So so let's see like how what I'm gonna do next year.
Yeah. Well, I hope you do. But yeah,
It's because like as I said, end of the year I'm already itching.
Yeah.
At December, like New Year's, man, I say, man, next year I have to prepare myself, and ever like get like January 2nd, I'm already itching to prepare myself for the World Championship, So
yeah. No, that's great.
it's like it's very addicting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So lately, there's been a lot of I don't think there's any other way to describe it, but shit talking on social media from mainly Gordon. How do you view the way he goes about it, and do you think it's disrespectful the way he talks about people that have come not only before him but along with him, like yourself? Your record is ridiculous, yet he said, "Oh, no one knows you." It was just a ridiculous statement.
Say the least.
How do you what do you think about that? And would there ever be a time when you would take the challenge to fight him? Because he's massive compared to your division, but
Yeah. So man, they I don't want to like give this guy any spotlight.
yeah, I agree.
That's why I didn't post anything on my social media, because man, it's like you can see he just posts some like ridiculous things, so but no, I think it's like the way that he creates some attention. Of course, he's in no gi, he's good, man. He had been winning the ADCC. His technique is good, so
Yeah.
he's technical. But I think it's like to like, for example, I fought already like some one of his teammates, and pretty tough as well. Actually, I respect a lot my opponents. I never disrespect anybody.
Yep.
Winning or losing for me is like is the same. And like he wants to be like a bad guy on the sport that talk about everybody. Everybody is like he's better than everybody, whatever. He
Yeah.
talked about like that Preguiça beat him twice. He still talk about like blah blah blah. But it's the way that he talks and create some attention, and maybe have some super fights. Maybe he needs the money a lot, and then he start talk shit to try to arrange some fights.
Yeah.
But that's is the not the way that I do business. It's not the way that I believe that someone do business, but that's the way that he does business. So I just and then a guy like contact me to do super fight with him. I said, man, with 10 gram, I'm not, I'm not like this, So if you guys want to pay me more, the way that I think that I deserve, I go and fight him, gi or no gi, whatever.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't have any title no gi, even though that, he's, he's like, he just have like the no gi titles. For me, I fight both, I'm very complete. I train both, even though I train no gi once a week, and maybe 4 weeks before ADCC, like 4 weeks or 5 weeks, I just start training twice a day. So even though we go over there and show a good work, you can see some guys train full-time no gi, they don't even go to the podium.
Yeah.
So like us, that train no gi like just few times and go over there and do better than the guys go and train full-time no gi. That's I believe that jiu-jitsu, when you train with the gi, give you really good foundation, to understand all kind of games and put you very solid.
Yeah.
So that's like I explain to my students how important to train with the gi. And even though like I'm saying, like I train few times, my students train few times. I have students like Pan Am champs, world champs, they train once a week or twice a week, no gi, and go over there and win the tournaments,
Yeah.
And man, I'm here anytime, I'm here anytime. Whatever when the guys want to pay, I go and fight anyone. So
Yeah.
I don't have any problem, So I don't like like the guys keep insult. If the
Yeah.
guy insult just me, it's fine. But he starts insult my family, starts create fake accounts and start, talk shit with fake accounts. And
Yeah.
as I'm saying, if like insult just myself, that's fine. But when you start putting family involved, and then it's another thing. And then I don't wanna be involved with that,
Yeah. No, that's fair enough.
So,
I think that's the thing with Gordon. Like there's no doubting his ability. His ability is ridiculous, but the way I think it's what he values as more like it's money. I make $1 million, or I make this, I make that. Whereas the real,
yeah,
for me, the
it's,
real legends
it's
or my idols
not
are people
making
like
any
yourself
money.
or Bushesha who don't tell everyone that they've got $50 million, or they don't have to tell everyone they're the GOAT or call themselves the king. You know what I mean? It's just...
I think it reflects his character a lot.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's like, man, I love to live in peace, I love to live in peace. I love to live my, like in good vibes,
Yeah.
I don't wanna like, I wanna, man, the guy that was, man, my entire career, I'd never had any problem with everyone. I'm just very cool, so I'm not. And then like I came this crazy guy and started, talk something. Like I said, man, you're crazy. I don't even follow you. I say, man, I don't even follow you. Follow me.
Yeah.
So maybe you should unfollow me on Instagram, So anyway, so that's just like, it's sad, but there is some guys that like it, that, there is some guys that they don't have much education. They like the trash talk.
Yeah.
They just enjoy, I don't know. So so that's just
I found
everybody's different.
I commented on
Yeah,
one of his posts
everybody's
and had
different.
a heap of his followers start getting into me. I just thought, man.
Yeah, but a lot of account I was seeing, like the guys was tagging me, man. The guys came to my Instagram. Oh man, a lot of fake accounts, a lot of fake accounts,
Yeah.
So, but if, man, stay on the internet full time,
Yeah,
man,
exactly.
that's a ridiculous job, man. Like it's better do something else in life.
How do you like, a lot of people call you the GOAT? How does that sit with you?
I'm sorry, say again.
A lot of people call yourself like the GOAT. How does that sit with you?
Oh man. It's like, I think is, for one side, I think is like the work that I'm showing, the records that I have been breaking, you know, I think is, you know, is showing up, right? But it's good, you know, to impact a lot of people's life and for good. And you know, I think it's good feeling because of this. You know, it's good feeling that, you know, impact a lot of people's life,
Yeah.
and that my work is showing, you know, and then like a lot of and a lot of people has respect for that. So that's a good feeling, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No, that's good.
Is there anything that you would consider changing about jiu-jitsu, like anything at all?
Sorry, say again, please.
Like in regards to like jiu-jitsu, is there anything that you dislike in the sport? Anything that you would like to change in it?
Man, some things that, yes. I think jiu-jitsu, the culture, they have like we need to have more discipline, you know, have to teach more discipline to the students since they're young, you know. Bow, respect the professor, respect the teammates. You know, a lot of things, like, you know, sometimes I saw like some other days the guys like smoke weed on the mats, you know, all crazy things that we have been seeing, you know. And if the guy wants to smoke weed, go smoke on your house, whatever, you know. Like, I'm not, you know, I don't use it, but I'm not, I guess, as well. I think
Yeah.
you have a lot of treatments, you know, for good for that on the medicinal part. But man, I think on the mats is like is the temple, you know. So you want to go over there and meditate, and, you know, and respect the dojo, respect others, respect the family, you know. There's a lot of things that are involved. I think jiu-jitsu needs to bring this more, you
Yep.
know. We can see, you know, I did judo just for a year, but man, we could see the judo culture, man, it's amazing, you know. It's amazing. So I went to Kodokan, Japan, in Tokyo, you know. Man, it's amazing how like they respect the temple. They're like, man, so respectful, you know. uh Man, is I think we're missing this in jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
you know. We're missing this. We have to try to brought this, you know, and to bring this, you know, from judo. And anyways, I think that we're missing a lot in jiu-jitsu, you know. There
Yep.
is like face jiu-jitsu more like with martial arts,
Yep.
you know, like that value that martial arts teach, you know. Because otherwise it's not just like you raise the kid to be a champion, go over there and get the medal, you know. Of course that's really good too, but man, go over there and, you know, win with integrity, you know, with a good character, and respect your opponent, respect others, respect your teammates, respect your opponents. I think, man, there is a lot of values that we can gain from martial arts, from, you know, in jiu-jitsu sometimes missing that.
Yep.
But a lot of times not the young kid that grow up, you know, over there, like, is missing from the professors, you know. The professors not teaching them on the correct way, you
Yep.
know. So and then they grow up thinks that they respect this and that, doing this, like is good, you know. So it's not like a MMA, you know. Like MMA, the guy can be a martial artist, go over there and just talk about to do the show, you know.
Yep.
Anyway, so it's, I don't know. I think we're missing that. Where I think that's is like sometimes I see this, I put me very, very not mad but sad, you
Yeah.
know, to see some actions,
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know.
We've only got, like, we've hit the 45-minute mark. Are you right to keep going for a couple more questions?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, cool. Alrighty, a fun one. If I was to organise a quintet tournament and you were the captain of one team, who would the grapplers be? You could ask anyone in the world.
It's 4 grapplers.
4 grapplers. Who would they be to be on your team?
Gi, right?
In gi, yeah.
In gi.
Of course, gi.
So male and female or
Any.
just male? Any.
Yep.
Man, so for sure, Rodolfo Vieira,
Nice.
you know, can be Rodolfo, can be Bruno Malfacini,
Yeah, good.
and can be four, you said?
Yeah.
Can be just the guys still competing, right?
Oh, it can be anyone, whoever you want. It's just make believe, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Man, can be can be Roger.
Yeah. This is a pretty good team you're putting together.
Yeah. And can be Tererê.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. I don't want to go up against that team.
No. He's chosen the team with, to get the most world titles together.
You want to
go? If you could go, excuse me, if you could go back like to one fight in your life and like run it back, which one would you choose? Like to, I don't know, like redo?
Yeah.
Like any fights that come to memory that you wish could be different or like you could do again?
Probably avenge a loss, I'd imagine.
Huh?
Probably to avenge a loss, I would imagine.
Anyone you want to fight again?
Yeah. Man, probably was one with Leandro Lo, you know, so I fought him back 2000, I think back 2012. It was 12 or 13. I don't know the each year, but I fought him, a few times. So that I passed his guard, but his kimono, came out, and then the referee stopped and put us standing again.
Oh, really?
You know, that should keep on the same position. You know?
Yeah.
that would be better. So, but even though like I kept winning the fight, I didn't lose that fight. I won, but that one maybe, maybe we could do again. But yeah, I think there was this fight. I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was that at Worlds?
That was the World Pro.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Do you have any hobbies outside of Jiu Jitsu?
Man, I do. I do mountain biking.
Yep.
I do mountain biking. I do tennis as well. Play tennis sometimes. I think these two. I skateboard a little bit too, but it's not. It's just for fun. But these two I like to do sometimes. On the weekends when I have time.
Yep.
When I'm not traveling for seminars, so I like to mountain biking, the trails, stay very close to the nature.
Yep.
And play tennis as well. I like sometimes to do too.
Yeah, nice. We've got a couple of quick questions to finish up with. So, your favorite submission?
From the back.
Nice. Favorite food?
Açaí.
That's a very common answer.
Yeah.
Favorite drink?
Favorite drink? Can be açaí.
Yeah.
It's because, but food can like açaí can be a different, can be a little bit more like juice, or can be a little more like like thick,
Yeah.
But food we can change to tapioca. Tapioca is really good, and then drink we can put açaí.
Yeah, no worries. Do you have a favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Man. I like 300.
Yep.
Oh yeah, good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Spartans.
Watched that the other day actually.
What is your BJJ idol or your Jiu Jitsu idol? Do you have one or a life idol?
Tererê. I have two. When I grew up, I had two. I had the Tererê and Margarida. Fernando Margarida and Fernando Tererê.
Yep. Yeah, cool.
That was true that I grew up watch all the fights and since my white to until my black.
Oh, nice.
White to black belt.
And our last question. Can you tell us something that people would be surprised to know about Lucas Lepri?
Surprised about myself, man.
Something that you're keeping in the closet so no one knows.
Yeah, tell us your secrets.
Man, I'm very open, like whatever I post on social media, the way that I am, and
Yep.
I'm not the guy that hiding things, you know. I'm very I don't know, I like adrenaline, maybe.
Yep.
I like adrenaline, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, that's it from us. Yeah, we just want to thank you again for being a guest on this. When I sent the email, I was honestly didn't think it'd happen. So I was just more in hope, and I was almost fell off my chair when I got a response that said, yeah. I said, whoa.
Yeah, you should see his message he sent me. Oh my God.
So no, we're definitely, when you're in Australia, yeah, we definitely hope to have you for a seminar. And it is our dream that, one of the times when we go to the States that we get to your gym and take one of your sessions.
Be very welcome. Just come and train and enjoy.
Yep.
And what I can do to help, and I'm gonna be here to help. Okay. And I also hope to go to Australia. When I go to Australia, I go and visit you guys too.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Also, thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. And I hope everybody enjoy the podcast.
Yes, I'll send you all the links and everything, so you can share it if you want to. Or
Okay. It would be good.
Yeah.
If you come to Australia, can you teach me how to beat your student Austin? Because he's beaten me twice. I'm sick of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have to see with him before it's gonna be okay.
Cool.
All righty. Thank you, Professor. Right, really, it was really great meeting you, and hope to see you again.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Likewise, guys. Of course. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
You.